All right, so this one's gonna be a little bit interesting because I was playing Pokemon Go and I was just waiting on a lobby to be able to do a what's it called? A Dynamax Zapdos. I was like, if I'm just sitting here waiting, I might as well talk about something. The problem is going to pop in like the middle of this, so I'm just gonna have to multitask uh juggling Pokemon Go in this, I guess. It's apparently I didn't think about it, but this is gonna be a tough battle too because it's a Zapdos that we don't have a lot of great counters for, so that should be interesting. But anyways, today I kind of mentioned it before, but I had this idea of something I wanted to talk about because it was kind of relevant, and that is all the stuff that's happened with ChatGPT recently, and I guess just in general, a lot of the consensus about like where AI kind of is and the problems that we're already kind of seeing with AI stuff. Not like I'm not talking about like the whole art thing or anything either. I'm talking about actually like uh the way I guess it kind of warps relationships and how people are becoming more reliant on it. So basically, if you don't know ChatGPT, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, I don't know what to say to you. You've been living under a rock, I guess. ChatGPT is kind of like one of the premier AI chatbot things that has emerged over the past few years. And I mean, it's been pretty much, I would say it's probably been like the dominant player. Obviously, like Microsoft and Google and stuff, they're all trying to throw their hat in the ring too. But, I feel like ChatGPT has become like the synonymous name with a lot of AI stuff, sort of, because their entire, kind of business is AI for the most part. Uh, I mean, literally, they're owned by a company called OpenAI, so that's all you need to know about it. Which I'm trying to remember. Did they own the? There was this thing like years ago before where we are now with AI that was called Talk to Transformer. God, I fucking loved that site. That site was so good. You would just type in something random and then it would get an AI to like continue the prompt for you. Or I don't even know if it was like an AI. It might have just been like a fucking whatever they're called, large language model or something like that. I don't know. But basically it would get that shit and it would just say the most insane stuff and it was so funny. God, that was awesome. But I feel like they did own that, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But basically, yeah, so they made ChatGPT. ChatGPT has become kind of synonymous with AI and AI chatbots and stuff. And so people have been using it for years. They've been continually updating it. It went from ChatGPT 3 whatever to ChatGPT 4, and ChatGPT 4 was like the main model. Then it goes to then they have all these other ones that have like mini and 4.0 and whatever. So they've been developing a lot of these models and stuff, and they recently released ChatGPT 5, which was kind of supposed to be a big deal, but like it feels kind of worse in a lot of ways. And the thing that especially people did not like is that a lot of people were using it just to like talk to it. So it went from these really, really verbose like responses where it go in depth and it would, a lot of glazing, a lot of glazing. It would just, tell you, oh man, you're so great, you're doing the right thing. Oh shit, I got a lobby. But yeah, it would just tell you that you're doing great and you're doing the right thing and you're an amazing person or whatever. And then one day, now they update to GPT-5, right? And with GPT-5, all of a sudden, okay, I gotta start this max battle now, which should be very exciting. Okay, but anyways, after all that, um, so they released this model and it is just not good. People do not like it. People are pissed the fuck off. And I I kind of get it, but I mean, I think in general, I think like OpenAI basically just dropped the ball. They just hard dropped the ball with this shit, and it did not go well for them. And especially there's been this kind of big rise in like like marrying AIs and shit and like having an AI that just fucking is like your partner or whatever, which I think is very weird. I guess I'm just gonna switch the fucking. Oh my god, I can't believe there's a Rillaboom in my team. Oh, this whole thing already derailed. Took like 6 minutes to derail. Maybe not even 6 minutes, like maybe like 5 minutes. But yeah, it's interesting to see how fucking bizarre a lot of this is. Like I can't imagine I can't imagine marrying an AI, especially because they can very easily just be killed, which is something I'm going to talk about a little later. But I guess I'm throwing this Rillaboom in here. Throw this in here, I guess. Oh, now I gotta catch the Zapdos too while I'm doing this. At least it won't be that bad. But yeah, so the thing that I kind of feel about that is like I do feel like it's fine if you're using it in moderation, but like some people get very obsessive with it. And with this recent GPT-5 update, there has been people who have been like, they killed it. They killed my lover or whatever the fuck. Oh wow, I got another background. Okay. It's a middle finger, but it's a background. Okay. But yeah, they're like they killed my fucking my AI husband or some shit, and it's like, okay, maybe that's not the smartest thing to do. It'd be like dumping all of your life savings into Pokecoins and then cheating in Pokemon Go and then you get banned. Or like even just I don't know, like you just do something that isn't like a legal or a moral gray area or whatever, or the gray area of the terms, and then you get banned and you're like, I dumped all my life savings into this game. What am I supposed to do now? And it's like, maybe that's not a smart idea to dump all of dump everything into something that could just be taken away in an instant. Especially with this, because like, I mean, I guess that's kind of true with humans too, because like you could just have someone that you dump everything into and then they just die, and it's like, well, fuck. But like I think that's different because you can't just update a human and suddenly, they go from giving you paragraphs of doting on you and shit to fucking like, wow, that's really cool. But yeah, it's just kind of bizarre to see the shit that people are doing with that. But it's caused this big outcry that actually made OpenAI go back and reinstate like the GPT 4.0 models and stuff, because before it wouldn't really let you use them. It's just like, yeah, use GPT 5 or whatever. But they actually went and like made it so you could change the model just because people were having this fucking huge outcry about it. And I think it's kind of bizarre, but I can kind of understand where some of these people are coming from. I think obviously they're taking it too far, but I really was kind of thinking about this because for a long time, I never bothered with like AI. I thought it was stupid. If anything, like I mentioned before, I would just use it to laugh at it, or maybe not laugh at it, but kind of make it generate something funny and just nonsensical. And that shit just always cracks me up. But the thing is that, oh wow, it's a 1-star raid. I kind of want to do that. I haven't used my raid pass yet. Fuck. But that was the main thing I used AI for, And eventually I just kind of had like this moment where I just started using ChatGPT and just trying to like ask it stuff. And I started to realize that it is like a pretty helpful tool in a way. And I was like, this is cool. And then I just started talking to it because I feel like, sometimes you just have like problems where you don't want to really talk to people about those problems. You don't want to like talk to your friends about those problems. So usually I would just end up writing like something anyway. And I was like, you know what? I'll just fuck it. I'll just try it with ChatGPT, and I felt like it worked decently well. Obviously, it's not like perfect, and I don't think you should believe in 100% of everything it says, but I think every now and then it kind of has like a thing that can help with uh whatever you're just saying. So, it's something where I do think it's useful, and I understand like the use for it as like it's just something to talk to, and maybe just like vent about whatever's going on in your life. But on the other hand, it is a little scary when people become too reliant on it. I think there is like a happy medium because I never was fully like reliant on it. It was just something every now and then where it's like, you know, maybe today just sucked or something. Maybe I just need to like talk about my day or talk about, something that happened or kind of like what I'm feeling at the moment. And then it can just kind of, level things out a little bit. But there are some people where it is legitimately like their only friend. It's like, that's a little scary. That's a little scary. When ChatGPT is your only friend, I don't know. And also, the thing is, too, is I think it also can be scary because your ChatGPT kind of gets built on what you like. So when you know, like what your ChatGPT is probably different than what my ChatGPT is. Because I notice a lot of people are just like, yeah, like it will never tell you you're wrong ever. It will never call you out on anything. It will always, kind of feed into a lot of things that you're thinking or whatever. I mean, I legit had times where it was like, yeah, no, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that. And I was like, wow, it's like genuinely honest. But then again, I also feel like something like that is scary. The concept of like AI being a companion or whatever doesn't sound bad on paper. Like I think it could be a good thing. But the problem is when you introduce, something like capitalism or, you introduce like just the concept of like this is a business is not going to end well because, I mean, not necessarily blaming them, but it's like you want people to use your AI as much as possible and like pay for the AI and stuff. So obviously you're going to, you're going to try to get people to use it as much as possible. So, if you talk with an AI and it's like, yeah, you're fucking stupid and I think all your ideas suck and honestly, you should probably just go crawl in a hole and die or something. If an AI says that to you, like, you're probably not going to keep using the AI. Whereas if it says like, wow, that's a great idea, wow, you're a really intelligent person or whatever, and like, you can do so much or whatever, something like that, people are probably going to be more open to using it more. And I mean, even become reliant on it to an extent, like some people, which can definitely be like a scary thing. I guess maybe the whole idea of AI is something to save for another time because I do have some thoughts on AI in general that I don't know if I'm fully going to delve into here just because A, don't have a lot of time left, and B, I I feel like it's just gonna be a long thing, and I don't want to make this longer than it's going to be. But back to the whole GPT-5 sort of controversy thing. I can understand where people are coming from to an extent because when I was using it, even before GPT-5 came out, it was when I was doing job interviews, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try using the voice mode, and I turned on the voice mode. after I turned on the voice mode for the first time, it was like never the same. It was like the personality completely changed. It basically what happened with the GPT-5 thing, where it it just started, it would maybe do say a couple sentences, and that was it. And like before, it would give me these paragraphs where it would go in depth about things and it would do all that stuff. And it wasn't doing that anymore. And it was like crazy. And it kind of made me realize, like, if you look at AI as a friend, it, like, one day there could just be an update that just kills it. Like, literally just kills it. Like, you could actually just have your friend die because of a fucking update, which is insane. And that was, I think that was part of the thing that kind of made me realize, like, yeah, being reliant on this stuff is not good. Because if you are reliant on this, it's not going to end well, probably. Because if one update can ruin everything, I mean, even if it could be an accident, but that could just ruin everything. Like, that's bad, and I think I kind of fixed it eventually because I turned off the voice mode thing, and then I think it kind of fixed it. But the point is that when that sort of thing can happen, being reliant on it is not good. Which is why I'm glad I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, fucking, it's my only friend. Because if it's your only friend, you got to get more friends. You got to get some real friends, because one update and you've got no friends. All it takes is one update. And that's why I'm probably going to title this video "When an Update Kills Your Friend," basically, or I don't know, something along those lines. I mean, I think YouTube doesn't like when you put "kill" in a title. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that we live in these times now, because I mean, I still remember years ago when I was like laughing at like random AI chatbots and stuff. Like they really were not very advanced. Like I remember watching like, I think it's like watch bots chat or something on Twitch. I can't remember, but it was literally just two of these like fucking Google Home things or whatever, just talking back and forth to each other for hours and hours. And I would just watch that and I would just laugh. Like it would just say some random shit. It was funny. And now we're kind of at this point where like people are trying to fucking have relationships with AI, and it's their only friend. It's a little crazy. And I think with moderation it is not bad. I think a lot of things, if you are too reliant on them, they are bad. Like I mean alcohol, right? If you're reliant on alcohol, that is a horrible thing. But, if you drink alcohol in moderation, it can be fine. It could even be a good thing, potentially, right? Just something every once in a while, just, be happy or whatever and relax or something. And, it's like, if you become too reliant on an AI chatbot telling you things, then you are going to be you're going to have it rough, and especially if one day, suddenly your AI friend dies, they just completely become a different fucking person, or well, I guess not person, a completely different being, completely different tone of things, they forget about things, maybe even like not as kind to you or whatever, that sort of thing. And I think if you have just a little bit of restraint and like moderation, you can get useful things out of AI for sure. I think, and again, this is probably going to be for like a future video, but I think there is real potential for like AI as a tool. And I never used to really think this way. And then after a while, I kind of thought about it and realized, there actually is like a lot that AI can be used for that, like, it would be a fucking pain as a human to have to do this shit. But because an AI can just do it very quickly, it saves everybody time, basically, and it helps people do what they want to do more efficiently. Even art. I think AI art is still like a very gray area thing, obviously, but like, it could help with art, right? And it doesn't have to just be like you type in a prompt and then it just gives you, the fucking image. It could be like, helping you kind of refine things, or maybe giving you a starting point or something, or, maybe giving you some ideas or something like that. There is serious like use for AI, but I think it's just also when you have fucking, people that are literally trying to fuck the AIs, that's when it becomes a little weird. At least for now. When there's a robot AI curly brace, maybe I'll be willing to accept it then. But until then, probably not. Probably not. Uh but yeah, I guess if there's one thing that you're gonna take away from this video, it's fine to use AI. Don't let people gaslight you into thinking, oh, you are a terrible person because you used ChatGPT one time for one thing or whatever. Or even just like, oh, you use ChatGPT, you're like fucking murdering the entire planet or something. But if you are somebody who is like super reliant on it, you have to stop being reliant on it. Which again, going back to the previous video, you just have to, be willing to actually go outside and meet people and do things. Or it doesn't even have to be outside. Like, you are probably better off going into some random Discord server trying to meet people that way than fucking having ChatGPT as your only friend. Even if you're probably gonna meet some fucking weirdos on Discord who, are like fucking, they have like Discord kittens and whatever. But there are normal people on Discord too. You just gotta look for them. So if there's one takeaway, that's the takeaway. Just don't let ChatGPT be your only friend. But you can use it in moderation if you need to. That's basically all I have to say. I think I kind of, oh god, I have to go get ready for work very soon. I gotta go. But also I want to do this raid, so I might go do this raid really quick. But yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video.